Don't you love when new goalie equipment comes? Let's put this stuff together. Here we go. Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and all you Trash Tendyists. We're going to do a little bit of a different take today. We're going to do a little bit of equipment review. So I had the chance to order in some extra equipment. My mask right now is starting to deteriorate from the inside. The pieces that keep the basically the glue that adheres the inside padding to the outside shell is starting to deteriorate. You'll notice that with a lot of masks, even the really good masks. The more you use it, even if it doesn't even if you don't produce traumatic experiences with it, like say get pucks off the skull or whatever, you're still going to notice that glue is going to deteriorate over time. So what you want to do is in that moment, what I did was just to try and keep its just keep it living a little bit longer, is I just tried to use some super glue onto the main shell, and hopefully that'll keep it around a little bit longer. But it only really goes so far because the foam that adheres to it, it's a very special epoxy. It's pretty hard to recreate. So eventually you're going to be left with no choice but to get yourself a new mask. Now this is the 960, the Bauer 960. So the Bauer 960, this is the highest you can actually get. It's not about blowing your own horn when you're like, oh, I can afford the most expensive. When it comes to protecting your skull, don't skimp out. The best things you can get. The quality is, it's a 1-to-1 ratio when you pay for the quality and you get, so for the expense, you get the quality. For this one, you get a little bit more internal padding. So if we take a look on the inside here, you can see all those marked up areas. There are actually grooves in there. So what they do is they help conform your head to the actual internal components, the working components on the inside of the cage. So it's really, really robust in that it fits a lot of heads quite well and quite snugly. It also has the ability, I believe a lot of these holes on the outside too are really good. They're obviously air holes, but because you can see on the inside, there's actually little divots that give it a little bit more airflow, a little extra airflow, and it's much less suffocating for the sides of your head, which produce probably the most heat aside from the top of your head, which you'll find most of the air holes are there. So that is one of the fantastic features about this. It's also a little bit lighter, so you're going to notice that as you go along, as you start playing, your head motions are a little less impeded by the actual movement of the mask, which makes it really good. And also the fact that I'll probably be strapping a GoPro to this really soon. It'll eventually weigh the same as my old mask with the GoPro attached, which would be fantastic because the addition of the GoPro and the old mask, it actually added a significant amount of weight. I believe it's only 100 and 150 grams, but when you're tossing your head back and forth, it adds up. So what we're also going to be doing, we're going to be switching out this cage with the cat eye cage. The cat eye cage is one of those where I didn't think it would be a game changer when I got it. When I started using it for a while, man, I could see that puck a lot more. So we'll be slapping that cage onto this guy. And then we'll be going ahead with doing some on-ice pilot testing for this guy. See if she's any good. She feels great. So I'm looking forward to bringing that into the mix. So you can expect to see this girl on the ice pretty soon. The other little piece of equipment I was able to get my hands on is this bad boy. So this is the CCM Axis 2 catching glove. One of the main big differences between the old Axis and the new Axis is the new Axis uses actually the palm does not use finger holes anymore. So you're going to notice that as you put your hand into the hole, so as you slide your hand into the hole, there's nothing really keeping these four fingers from just floating around in space. So a lot of people have problems with this, obviously, because it doesn't give you the stability for grabbing it right away. But because of the way the actual finger lay is made, so as you put your hand on it, stick your hand, and as you use it, that thing becomes actually quite useful. So I haven't quite broken this glove in yet. Still in the process of doing that. We'll do another video, I think, or maybe at the end of this video, we'll see if we have enough time to show you how I've been breaking it in over the last little while. I've just got this, so I've only spent maybe about 2 nights trying to break it in. So we're still in the baby process of doing it. So for the most part, this thing, there's a couple things that I have to figure out too for myself. But one of the other things I really wanted to do was to try out what they are calling the best style, which is the 591 break. So the 591 is essentially it's the angle in which this, I believe it is this, in terms of the way the palm is angled. Don't take my word for that. I'm not 100% too sure. Far be it from me to explain what a pro should be explaining. But at this point, the 591 is a game-ready glove. So it'll give you the most. So as you can tell, I just got this from the store. I'm actually able to pretty much close that. In terms of getting the most out of it, I still have to work for that. But I can pretty much close it. With the, that not being too bad. It's like that. It still requires a little bit of strength to close it. As you can tell, when I close it, I can shake it a bit. But other than that, it's a really, really comfortable glove. I was actually quite surprised by the actual comfort of it. What's really interesting, too, is you see the wrist right here. It's a little bit far gone from the actual, from where your actual wrist placement is. So when I'm holding this glove, my wrist is actually sitting right here, which gives all this extra area. So as a goalie, when you hold your glove out like this, you're actually holding your glove out quite far, and usually you leave this part unprotected. A lot of times goalies get sniped on this side, and it's right between their bucket and their glove. So it's hard to move it in that direction without either giving yourself a concussion or you're just not fast enough. And it's not a very natural movement to be doing like this. So if you're in position like this, there's a lot less room because of this this wrist, I guess you'd call it the deflector pad, right in front of the wrist, but it's just deviated off to the wrist. You get a lot more coverage between that gap, which I found to be exceptionally well because I get sniped up there all the time. There's only so much you can do when you have a 3-on-1 and you're trying to stop a ripper to the top corner. So you do what you can. But we're going to give this one a little bit of a test drive on the ice in the coming weeks. Probably starting next week sometime. So we're going to give that a shot, see how it works. Feels really good. I'll be putting the cat eye on that, on the mask, and we're going to be going from there. We'll get some on-ice footage, and you can tell me how you think of it, and I'll let you know how I think of it. So we'll see you on the next video, where hopefully we put it all into action, or on action. I mean, I'm not that good, but we'll see what happens. We'll catch you in the next video, though. Ciao.